First of all, let me express my concern for family members of those veterans and for the veteran who encountered that toxic exposure. It seems to me that those who served our country in the military, who were drafted, who volunteered, they have an expectation of taking certain risks associated with their military service. But I can't imagine that any one of those men or women expected that their service would result in health care concerns for their children or their grandchildren. What a terrible burden that must be if you now believe that something that you voluntarily did has a consequence for people who were yet to be born, your children and grandchildren. So I think this is an issue that is so deserving of the VA's attention and certainly of Congress's attention. The VA believes, as I understand, that there's insufficient evidence to tie the conditions that we find in children or grandchildren of veterans to the exposure of their mothers, fathers, grandmothers, or grandfathers. And so if that's a true statement, that the VA can't find the connection, the scientific evidence, then it seems to me that the VA ought to be terribly interested in making that determination. It ought to be insufficient for the VA to say there's insufficient evidence. You ought to be determining whether there is evidence or not scientifically, medically for that condition. That true?
Senator, if I might, one of the issues here is the extent of our current authority. Congress has given us authority in limited situations, for example, spina bifida, to pay benefits to, say, a descendant of somebody who's been exposed. But other than that, our authority is very limited. We pay benefits to survivors based on the veteran's exposure. We allow survivors to substitute in a veteran's claim, and we pay accrued benefits.
So would the VA support the authority to do exactly that? I mean, what this bill does is give you set the parameters by which that conclusion can be reached, and then I assume that you would endorse the idea that those benefits should be paid if that scientific evidence, medical evidence is prevalent?
If Congress determines that that's what the government should be doing and asks VA for its views on that, Senator, I feel very confident we would provide our views and let you know what they are.
Even though you provide the legislation designed to accomplish that?
Well, if it's a bill that's introduced into the Congress and not one of our own legislative proposals, we would provide our views on it on that basis. If it's something that we would propose, yes, we would definitely propose something that we support, which, if this happens to be what it is.
My point is you oppose the bill that's designed to give us the standing in which we have the credibility to give you the authority, yet you oppose the bill that creates that opportunity for us.
I understand what you're saying. It would be helpful to have the research before you decide whether that's a benefit that should be provided.